Our region's business is sponsored by PNC for the achiever in you.
Just in time for the holidays, the Ultimate Beer Lovers Happy Hour. It's a new cookbook penned by John Schlimm, a fifth-generation member of the Straub Brewery family. The family's been brewing beer at St. Mary's, Elk County since 1872. Now they're on the road with the Ultimate Happy Hour Tour to promote the family's brewing tradition as well as the book. Bill Brock is president and CEO of Straub Brewery. John Schlimm, again, the author of the Ultimate Beer Lovers Happy Hour, both of them fifth-generation members of the family. Welcome. Good to have you here.
It's so great to be here.
Yeah, well, it's fun, and it is a tremendous tradition. Was it a foregone conclusion you were going to wind up in the brewery business?
No. It was. I was probably away from St. Mary's for 25 years before they were able to get me to come back and take the reins. You know, we both grew up with it. It was always almost in the backyard. My grandfather's house sat right down the hill from the brewery, so it's always been part of your life. But you know, I didn't get involved until probably heavily about 7 years ago, and John probably has been about 5 years.
Your cousins, right? Still living in St. Mary's? Grew up in St. Mary's?
We're both the fifth generation. We're at the same place in the family.
Peter Straub was our great-great-grandfather.
Okay, great-great-grandfather. But John, you've really carved out a whole different career in the cookbook business, right?
Yeah, you know, I've been doing cookbooks for a couple years, and particularly beer cookbooks, and I really see it as an extension of what our great-great-grandfather did in the 1870s. You know, he's been such an inspiration to me. He came over from Germany at age 19, and when you think how young that is, and it's really a story that's played out in so many of our families. I'm sure your viewers, it's in their families, and to think how brave and courageous he was. So, you know, when I start on a new beer cookbook, or I step into the boardroom, which I, joined last year, I always think of that 19-year-old, and I'm hopping on that ship right with him. And I think with every sip of Straub beer, you get that taste that anything is possible. Well,
it does. It sends a message, I guess, to all his descendants and everybody. You can do anything. If he could do that, you can do anything. So I take it the Happy Hour cookbook is what? Things you can eat at happy hour with a Straub beer?
Well, of course, I highly recommend that you pair it with a Straub beer. But of course, you know, this is a book that I'm going on tour across the country with, and so people can enjoy it with whatever their favorite brews are. But here at home, people are loving it with all of our craft seasonal beers that are coming out, which is fantastic.
Well, the brewery's been around forever, and you know, for a lot of that history and for decades, you know, you were competing in the same category with the Budweisers and the Millers. All of a sudden, this idea of craft brewing and the local brewery is hot. It's I think growing faster than the major categories.
Yeah,
right?
It's probably the largest growing segment of the industry. But you know, all of these beers we have made at different points in times in history, or most of them anyways, up until Prohibition. And you know, about 5 years ago, we decided that we needed to branch out a little bit, and all of them, with the exception of the alt beer, are lagers, but they've been received great in the marketplace. It's been a little bit different for Straub. It's been kind of nice to see some of these recipes back out in the bottle. It's been quite a.
But they've literally been sitting around since Prohibition, more or less.
Yeah, I'd like to say we had a playbook that we found, but it took a little bit of research. But you know, again, with the German tradition, these are the beers that they often made. And when the American lager came from the fact that when the Germans came here, they couldn't grow the same kind of malt. And so they needed adjuncts to finish the product. So that would be corn or rice. So yeah, I mean, American lagers are a very unique American beer. They're a little bit, you know, the flavor profiles are a little bit lower. These are all bigger beers, higher alcohol, but they're all my favorite.
Well, and I imagine our region, the Pittsburgh region, has got to be a pretty important market for Straub.
Yeah, I mean, hands down. I mean, Pittsburgh is very important to where we've come and hopefully to where we're going in the future. And we spend a lot of time down here.
And you really are kind of a purely Pennsylvania beer, right?
About 97%.
Almost all of it is the state?
Is our market. 97% is sold in Pennsylvania.
And it's really exciting. So I know it is the holidays. Obviously, you can buy a copy of the cookbook, I would assume. You're looking for that new cookbook idea. It's out and available?
Sure. You know, the hottest trend in entertainment right now is the beer and food pairing, and that's really why I wanted to do this book. So it's filled with all those classic comfort bar snacks. When you're in a bar at midnight, you have a beer in one hand, what are you eating, you know, in the other, and now you can do it right at home, and you can pair it with your favorite brews.
Okay, and that's perfect. And then if you want the favorite brews, you're now actually selling a variety pack.
Well,
for the
we have a legacy pack. We have the 1872 pre-Prohibition lager. We have the IPL, the Doppelbock, and we have Helles, which is a great tasting beer.
So this is great. You're totally prepared. Gift for mom, gift for dad.
Maybe a gift for yourself.
A gift for yourself. Well, really great. Thanks so much for coming by. Continued success at Straub Brewery.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for having us.
Absolutely. And when we come back, a little dollars and cents. Stay with us.